Hey there, everybody. This is Ed, and welcome back to another edition of Bagel and Booze. And for this week's episode, we got something that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. It's a fruited Kettle Sour Ale. We've done sours here on Bagel and Booze before. I've had sour ales drinking in real life, but it's something that definitely is not my first choice of beers to go to. So this should be interesting to find out. You know, especially with this one, it's a little bit different than the other sour ales that we've done, to see if it's something that I'm going to like, hate, middle of the road. I don't know. I kind of liken it to the hazy and juicy IPAs. Not really a huge IPA guy, but I got hooked on to the hazy and juicies. Love those. Regular IPAs, not so much. So this one should be interesting. We'll see. Maybe it hooks me onto fruited kettle sours with that. So, and for this one specifically, we are going to keep it local to the area. We're heading to Maryland. So with that means it's definitely another edition of Backyard Brews. And we're going to find out, give it the old sniff test, taste test, and find out if it will chug. But before we get into that, click on that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest beer reviews. Like I said, we're keeping it close to the state of Delaware, specifically Maryland, out of Berlin, Maryland. And from there, it is Burley Oak Brewing. And what we got for them to try, this is a series of beers that they produce. Supposedly it's one of their best brews that they put out. And what it is their Raspberry Cherry Peach JREAM. And I will say, when I saw this can, I saw it as Dream. Actually, it's D-R-E-A-M. And it's not that. It's J.R.E.A.M. A little hard to see on that. I was trying to figure out what in hell's name does that acronym stand for. First thing that I found was Jiu-Jitsu rules everything around me.
I know Kung Fu.
Well, that's not what it is. It actually, a little other digging, found out it's actually very close to that, is juice rules everything around me. These are definitely heavily fruited. Even on the can, it says there's natural fruit in there, so they're definitely playing up the fruit juice aspect of this beer, specifically the beer style, I guess. The sour, I guess, is what kind of worries me, especially when we get to the chug test. You know, who knows? Might be something that grows on me, but, you know, these guys, they definitely produce out a whole slew of these dream styles. Right now, they've got out a strawberry banana, a peach pear cobbler, and they also have a blackberry, blueberry, acai fruited sour. So, as you can see, hence why that whole juice rules everything around me acronym that comes out of it is very huge in connection with that for the juice side of the thing. So, let's go ahead and get this all poured out, and we'll set it up for the sniff test, taste test, and then finally the chug test.
I drink and I know things.
We got everything all poured out, and as you can kind of see, not a real clear beer. When I was pouring this thing out, it was coming out, I don't know any other better way to kind of say it, but it was coming out thick and cloudy. It's not, I guess it's the most accurate description that I kind of put of this. Honest, a little scared on this. This is going to be an interesting beer review for us. So with that, let's give it the old sniff test, and then we'll give it the taste test. So right off the bat, you know, I can kind of, again, with the pour where it was very kind of thick and heavy.
That's what she said.
I don't know if that's the proper way to describe a smell, but it's the same kind of aspect to that. I could just kind of smell the lactose that's coming out. I wasn't getting a huge, there was kind of the peach smell through it. Raspberry, in my opinion, doesn't really have a smell. It does, but it doesn't. Peach, definitely I kind of got the lactose, the milk kind of smell. That kind of hit me. So I guess with that, let's give it the old taste test. Bottoms up. It definitely is a very full beer. I was expecting something a little more kind of, kind of to pucker. Not really getting that. You know, it's pretty smooth. I guess smooth isn't the right word, but kind of balanced on the flavor profile. We'll give it another. And I definitely, it more so on that second one than the first one. I really got to do two taste tests, as I've been finding from the past couple weeks. That first one just kind of The second one is where it really starts to set up. And in that second taste, definitely got the peach flavor. It's very forward on the peach. Not so much where it's just kind of blasting away. It's actually pretty damn freaking good. This is definitely not going to be a smooth, I said smooth, but it's not going to be an easy drinking, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Easy drinking beer. I was nervous with the sour aspect, but in all honesty, I am not getting any real sourness out of this beer that's coming to me. Unlike some of the other sours that we've had in the past, where it just kind of hits you and just kind of pucker up off of that. So this one's pretty damn good. We'll give it a third or fourth taste test, and you know, I guess I get the subtleness of the raspberry. There's the peach. It's definitely got that kind of milkshake, feel off of the lactose. And then there's a little bit of other kind of fruited aspect to it. And I can see where they're trying to say, you got to keep this thing refrigerated because of the fruit flavors, fruit juice, I should say, that's in this. And it definitely imparts a different type of quality to this beer. For a rating, it's definitely something that, I thought I was going to rate this a whole heck of a lot lower. I figured this would be like a 1 or 2, where in the past where the sours just have gotten to me and I just don't like them. I'm going to go so far as to actually give this one a perfect 5 out of 5. I'm not finding really anything wrong with this one. I guess maybe I got a good flavor profile in connection with it, just like when I drank the Secret Machines from Dewey Brewing. There's some flavor combinations that are just piss poor, and there's other ones that just knock it out of the park. This one sets up real damn good. So it warrants a 5 out of 5. It'll be interesting to see when we get to the chug test to see if anything changes. I guess with that, let's get into the chug test and we'll find out and answer those questions. So we're about ready to do the old chug test on that, and I do have to say that as I have sat here during my beer review, and there's a lot that you don't see, when I'm recording. It takes extra time out of what's there, but this is definitely a, lack of a better term, a dirty beer. The glass for where I've drank, we got a little bit left. Um, you know, it's left a filament around the hole of the glass. The beer itself, is very cloudy, very sediment like. You know, it's just, this is definitely one that I've never tried before. So I apologize. And it's a style of beer that's completely out of my league. Kind of intrigued by it, and I just continue to watch all this carbonation slowly seep up out of from the bottom to the top of the beer. I'm gonna give it to the thickness. Again, I don't think I've ever described a beer as being thick, of just the carbonation kind of coming through. So I guess it's time to find out if it will chug. So bottoms up. Woo! Holy crap. Yes, it is chuggable, but damn, that is a lot of peach that just came bursting through. Man, it's still lingering. Like I said, when we go to the chug test, we get a whole different, some of those flavor profiles will really accentuate. In this case, it was the peach. The peach is just kind of exploded in my mouth.
That's what she said. Or he said.
It's definitely something recommend. It's not something that, like they say, it's not the beer that I was looking for, but it was the beer that I needed. I don't know if that's true, but we'll take it in this case. And it just kind of set up very nicely. It wasn't overpowering, except for during the chug test when we got a whole hell of a lot of peach. But it did very well. It definitely was not one that I expected out to perform as well as it did. I was expecting the sour to kind of just fall to the bottom like some of the other ones have, and I'm a little disappointed that I don't have some more cans of this. This is my only can. Usually I get at least 2 of these things, and this one I only got 1, I think, because it was the sour ale, and I was a little worried in connection with it. Wasn't even sure if I was going to do a review on it, but took a chance, and I'm pleasantly surprised that I did. So with that, I'm done. This is done. We're done. And I thank you again for tuning in to another edition of Bagel and Booze. And we'll catch you next time.